All right, guys, I am back at it, just coming out after Ordinary Games episode 38. I am back for another live stream. But if you're just tuning in, introductions are in order. I'm the double whose door is always open. Gandalf without the gray or the white because I'm all black. Joy LaForge, captaining this enterprise. I am Left Eye E.G.O. And I'm going to be joined by a special guest, one who actually shares an affinity for the wolf, just like Abomination AJ. Please welcome, guys, Wulfsbane Comics. Sir, how are you doing this evening? Oh, dude, I think your mic's muted, man. Mike.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Dude, no problem at all. Actually, you know what? I probably messed this up and didn't even have it so people can find you on here. Let me try to add back display names on here. There we go. That's what I was missing. All right, guys, man from Wolfsbane's Comics. So, usually we will have on other creatives and talk about what they've got going on. But before we dive into the work that they've got going on, I just want to get more of a sense of the person that we're talking to. So, I don't know if people call you WBC or not, but WBC. How are you?
I like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I was like, I know it's gotta work. WBC has to work. It just rolls off the tongue. But man, I know that you are a comic book writer, but what actually got you into writing, and how long have you been writing?
Yeah. Oh, this is a good question. So, what got me into writing was I used to read a lot of the Spider-Man comics as a kid, a lot of like the older '60s stuff, and my uncle had like a huge collection of it. Yeah, it was great. So I didn't get into I didn't start writing until I was in grade school. I stopped a little bit, and then I started writing comics back up again around like 2018 or so.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was a fun ride. Like back then, there was like doing the whole like I believe indie comics were a thing, but it wasn't like widespread,
Yeah.
So everyone wanted to do indie comics back then. So I'm just glad that I was able to test it out. And right now, it's been a long journey. It's been about 3 years, but I'm loving it.
Dude, that's not bad, dude. I sometimes you get people that have been like writing. Hey, I was writing since I was 13 or 9, or I just started writing. It was like I never heard anyone that had started that early. It's like dropped and like, oh, I can get back into this. I mean, like, what wanted to get you back into it around that 2018 mark? Was there anything that happened in particular, or just like, hey, it's time, let me do it?
Oh, there's a fun story. So back around this is like 2018. I was scrolling through Facebook, and this is when I started getting back into comic books again. I forget which book it was. I think it was like the One War Machine book where it was kind of like Armor Wars, but like he was doing it all throughout the USA. But either way, this one guy on Facebook, he wanted to do like a whole comic book universe. And at the time, I was writing my first series, Wulfsbane. And I figured, hey, this would be cool. I talked to him, we chatted it up a bit. And initially, we had plans to do like a whole crossover verse, and Wulfsbane was going to be in it. But plans fell through, and I decided, screw it. I'm gonna do Wulfsbane anyway. And 3 years later, here we are.
Bro,
no, not 3. But,
yeah. Sometime later, I got you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's what got you into writing Wulfsbane, and that actually brings us to your latest work of art, which is Pendragon: The Legend Foretold. Guys, give me a second here. I will bring this up on here, and also copy the link in the description for you, so that you will have access to it as well. Let me go ahead and throw that in here now, and chat, and there we go. So guys, this is the link to the Kickstarter as well. Beautiful art, man. This is like some watercolors. You got 3 dimensions here. I'm guessing this is Excalibur, right?
Oh yeah, that's definitely Excalibur. And that piece was drawn by Yosan Art. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but you can find him on Twitter.
They did an awesome job. Guys, currently the Kickstarter's got about 13 days to go, and they're sitting at about $22.89 out of $3,000 to reach the stretch goal. So about $711, and they are there fully funded for this project. Honestly, like I said, I looked at some of the art beforehand, and this stuff looks awesome. And even the premise of this sounds great as well. Tell us, how you came up with the story, and how did you even get into medieval legends if you started out reading Spider-Man from the 60s?
Oh, okay. So aside from comic books, I'm a huge mythology nerd, and one of my
Okay.
favorite mythologies of all time is Celtic. Celtic stuff. It has that gritty fighting like Conan and everything.
Okay.
And how I got started with Pendragon was originally I do like King Arthur tales and stuff like that. But originally it was going to be a whole Captain Marvel Shazam type story where this one kid
Oh,
gets the powers of King Arthur by holding the magic sword Excalibur, and
okay.
he fights crime and does all that. But then after a while of thinking, and I realized the story wouldn't really be unique, and
Okay.
I love the mythology so much that I want to incorporate that into the story, and it became this whole interdimensional adventure with a whole bunch of champions, both new and old.
Dang. That sounds extremely well thought out. Wow. I wasn't even okay. I was unaware that you were making it this deep, especially with adding in that Celtic lore, and that's awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I, I mean, I guess also I was reading up on everything that you had on here that you were saying that book one is a prelude of sorts, and I'm like, a prelude to what exactly? Do tell, sir.
Okay, so I might have used the wrong word, but it is a prelude to a four-part saga. Well, a four-saga
Uh,
series. So
okay.
each saga will have its own villain. Like how, like in let's take Dragon Ball Z for example. You have
Yeah.
the Frieza saga, the Cell saga, the Buu saga. They're all centered around this one villain, and it enhances the plot as time goes on.
I see. Okay. Wait, so who are so for this prelude for book one, who is our villain if you're able to share that, or will I get too much of it away?
No. I can actually share this. I won't
Okay.
tell you how they come about in this new era, but we are going to be duking it out with Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah. Wow, that's a heavy hitter.
Oh
Dude, you're
yeah,
swinging for the fences.
yeah. Go big or go home.
Wow, a Morgan Le Okay. Wait, hold on. All right, so I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Are we saying that it's someone transported from the present into the past, or someone that's in that time frame that it's medieval that actually gets Excalibur?
Oh. So with Pendragon, it's someone that's in the present day that gets Excalibur, and
Oh, that's awesome.
everyone that was in the past, some of them will be coming into the present in some way, shape, or form.
Bro, okay, you read. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I was like, I'm trying to figure out how this works. Like, he looks modern, but I could say the architecture looks like it's medieval. So I was okay. And so with this one, are you basing everything on real areas that are based on the time zone, or does everything have like a separate name that's not connected with any particular real place?
Oh, so I'd say a lot of it is loosely based in the real geographical world. Like we do get to visit Ireland, and we do get to visit the East Coast in the USA. But
Okay.
I'm not too knowledgeable in the actual locations, so we're gonna keep it vague. It's gonna be like
Okay.
DC cities.
That's fair. I that's what I was trying to figure out because some people will have their. I like when people have their own, their own made up of foreign lands. Not having to base it on anything else and getting stuck in having to make sure that it's extra accurate, or you have to put this in this
Yeah,
time frame or this people. This I appreciate that. You're like, hey, it's a different world. Come into the world, share it with me, read, and just go. Especially if you're gonna put in like Morgan Le Fay on that. That's I dig it. I
I
dig it. I
definitely.
dig it. That's awesome, man. So I know that one thing I wanted to ask, that's not something I talked about you previously, is what was your process in terms of like research, character design, or character attributes? Like, what was your process like for doing this?
Uh, so with the Arthurian side of things, I wanted to get deep into the roots. So that took a lot of reading with the history of the King of Britain, one of the first original sources, finding out that there's an actual Celtic side of King Arthur that doesn't really get touched upon,
Oh,
and realizing
really?
that, oh yeah,
How'd
it's
you wait?
really,
How'd you find that out? I didn't even know that. I thought it was like Britannia or something like that.
yeah, it is Britannian, but it turns out like Celtic is just this whole umbrella term, and it goes into like Ireland, it goes into Wales, it goes into like a Cornish culture and stuff like that. So you can actually do a whole lot with that. And it since it's Celtic, I also did like a whole bunch of actual Celtic gods that I'm able to like fit in there too.
Dude, this okay. This is some next level research. Why? How long did all that take, or is it like while you're reading, you're like, oh, okay, I can add this, I can add that, or did you like, I'm gonna read, do all the research, and put it in there? Like, how did you do all that?
Oh, so let's see. This all started back in like 5 years ago.
Oh wow.
And yeah, because as I mentioned, like I started getting into Celtic mythology back then. But when I started doing the book, it took a lot of rereading to actually like hone in on the specifics of what I wanted to do with the story. So that took a good amount of time.
I mean, it sounds like it. I mean, but it sounds so specific and
Uh,
actual to what's, hey, look, this is the lineage, this is the history, this is the
uh,
culture, but you're able to take all that and put it in a land that you made your own. Like, that is
oh
some
yeah,
next level research, dude. Oh,
oh yeah,
Mr. Nathan,
definitely.
I'm sorry.
Oh hey,
Thanks, Jay Sorry for visiting us as well, sir. That is
oh yeah,
awesome, man. Oh wow,
thank you.
dang, that's pretty. Hold on, have you ever had a chance
Yeah,
to visit any of these places yet, or would you want to
I
visit them?
wish. I
Okay,
would definitely
I
want to
had
visit
that.
Ireland. I would definitely want to go to Ireland.
Dude, my wife Shiro has been there before. She says
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, she
really?
was like, yeah. So the where she works, they've got it's a global place. So like sometimes they'll send her overseas, and so she went there.
Nice.
She met she got to see the dire wolves from Game of Thrones. Like that's where they
Yep.
were keeping a few of them. Yeah, like I
And
can't find the picture of it, but she was like, yeah, it's really awesome. It's like she loved it. So I was like, I want to go now too. So I'm like, dude, I know you won't have to want to go
oh
if you've done
yeah.
all this research on it. Okay, I did clear that. I'm sorry, asking a follow up
No, no,
question on this. What
no,
if
no.
you're in
You're good.
Ireland? What's the first thing you're gonna want to go see or do when you're in Ireland? Like the minute you step foot, what you gonna do?
Honestly, I'm gonna go to the nearest pub. I'm not gonna lie. I heard the
That's fair.
pubs there
I
are
was
really
like,
good.
I gotta ask Shiro about that because I was like, I need to know if she went to a place or knows of one to where she went when she was in Ireland. I gotta check with her on that one. But yeah, I was like, it's got to be a pub, right, man? It's got to be a place you go
Exactly.
to. Let me
Shoot.
see. All right, but so I usually will try to look into people and figure out some of their influences on things. And I know that you had your five diagram of the influences for this book, but I saw that one of your earliest influences or something that you read religiously as a kid was rainbow fish. So I was trying
Yeah.
to figure out, were there any characters or any plot points from Rainbow Fish that you put into Pendragon? I had to ask, man.
Honestly, if you look real deep into it, you can
Okay.
kind of take a parallel from David Gracie, the main character for
Yeah.
Pendragon, and Rainbow Fish. If you look at Rainbow Fish, he's different from every other fish in there,
Okay.
and while people mock him for it, and while people say that he doesn't belong, there's something in him and in the quality of what he is that makes him stand out from everyone else. And with David, he's just this like on the outside, he's just this regular kid that doesn't really have anything going on in his life. He doesn't know what he wants to do, but inside him, there's a heart of a warrior and a kind soul that's able to get the job done and because for this story, the whole reason why he's picking up the sword, and it's something that he doesn't know about yet, is that there's this mystical plane called the Otherworld, and in between that is a barrier. Now, in modern times, the barrier is thinning and it's about to disperse. So he needs to be there to guard his home and his world from the invading forces that are to come.
Ooh, my man has a whole setup. I'm liking where this is going. I'm liking where this is going. Well, I mean, and I know that you said that there's some of the themes that you've got from or some of the character elements from Rainbow Fish and Pendragon, but just I know that people will have a lot of themes in their books or in their comics, but I want to know for you personally, what was the hardest theme to discuss from your point of view with Pendragon? Or is there anything that you kind of struggle with talking about in your work?
Okay, so the hardest thing for me would be the idea of mentorship, because growing up, I haven't really had that many great mentors, and I had to essentially learn what not to do from the people that I interacted with. And thankfully for me, I think that I have a good head on my shoulders, and even though I do falter sometimes, I am learning. And that's also great in itself, because I wanted to tackle both the good aspects of mentorship as well as some of the negative aspects with people who sometimes they want to do good, but they don't have the capabilities of teaching people how to do that. If that makes any sense.
Oh, I definitely get that. That's yeah, I know. I had like my mentor has been fantastic for me and helped me with a lot of things. It actually introduced me to my wife. It's just, it's I get what you're saying when you have a mentor, but there's that time before, or when you're trying to learn from peers, it's hard to separate a peer and make them a mentor.
True.
If you're having to learn what not to do from that person. So no, I mean that's actually pretty good. I mean, is there a character that in your Pendragon that exemplifies that, or one we have to look at sort of as going through that theme that you're trying to talk about?
Oh, exactly. 100%. That would be Merlin. Or in this book, his name is Mervin. So
Okay.
with Merlin's story is he starts off as this kid and he has great ambitions because he's a special kind of guy. But after some events happen, he realizes that he needs to put it upon himself to change the world and prevent this certain future event from happening, and that's the one that we were talking about. However, he's so stricken with the fear of it happening that his judgment gets clouded in almost every decision he makes. In the original Arthurian lore, it tells of him having these prophecies, but he's beholden to them and he can't really do anything about it. And there's this one story where he teaches Morgan Le Fay, and she betrays him because of the bad choices that he makes.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
So she's making that based on like him. Okay, wow. That's I mean, you thought this out. This is nice. I like this a lot, man. This is good. So in your mind, are all 4 books in your mind done and you know exactly how you're gonna tell it? Is it you're just more so following the path that each book lays out and to no real end that you know of until you get to it?
So these 4 sagas are actually like multitudes of books. So let's say if we get done saga 1, it'll be like, I'd say like hopefully it'll be like 8 books at least 8 books.
Okay.
Yeah, but for my writing process, I pretty much plan each saga out, and then I work my way up to the conclusion step by step. So right now I'm done knowing exactly what happens for 4 books, and hopefully I'll be able to get done writing that within 2 years.
Okay, that's not bad. So in your mind, you know how it's gonna end. It's like, okay, I just gotta write it out and make sure. And I can only imagine how long that takes because you have to write it out, but you gotta get someone to illustrate what you're writing out, and to only do it in so many book pages, that I can see how that might take some time.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
do you how do you like you do that with the, I guess, the artist? Like you tell them like, hey, I want this to be a picture, or I want this dialogue in there. Like, how do you do that?
Oh, so with Colin Garcia, he's the inker, and David Smelling, the colorist. I pretty much write down what I want to happen,
Okay.
and I pretty much do like basic guidelines, not nothing too crazy, and they take that and then they let the imaginations run wild. A lot of the pages
Oh
that you
wow.
see in there, that's
Yeah.
their that's their creative liberty showing. And honestly, every time I see a new page, I'm just as amazed as you guys are reading it for the first time.
So all of this is like you're like, hey, run wild with it, and this is all them just being taking creative liberties,
Yes.
bro. So this is all freestyled. All is freestyled.
Yes, surprisingly. Shoot, it's like
Yo.
you don't you can't imagine the level of excitement I feel whenever I just whenever Carly's like that page right there, I had no idea it was gonna end up looking like that. Same
It
with the
looks
other page right there. Yeah,
yeah.
it's all so good.
They honestly did an amazing job. Like it gets in, the weirder thing is it gets more and more distinct, even for the black and white ones. It's got incredible detail on here. Like this is,
Oh
I
yeah,
have no idea what colors are going to come out of this page, but I trust like it's going to be beautiful. It looks so,
exactly.
it's got so much structure on here and depth that when you hear the color, I can only imagine how this is going to pop. Look, it looks fantastic.
Oh,
They
definitely.
this is the best freestyle I've seen. This is awesome, man. That is really nice. And I bet everyone is really going to enjoy this book and the ones that are definitely to come from this one. Let me go here. So, slightly pivoting a little bit, I know
Yeah.
that I saw you responding to someone about a post and they're talking about Star Wars because of the Acolyte. And I'm like, you know what? I should just go ahead and ask. I know how you're going
Oh,
to feel
was
about the
that
Acolyte.
today?
I don't know if it was a today or a few days ago, but I saw it and I was like,
Uh,
I haven't gotten really a chance to ask this particular question, but I wanted to ask you. So I know that there are some people that don't like the fact that politics have found themselves into different forms of media, like art, comics, movies, etc. The things that used to be our escapes, we can't escape the policies that have been put into them. But I wanted to ask is, how do you solve the problem when politics are going to be necessary to the story? Like, I mean, with this, you've got, technically a foreigner from a strange time transported presumably back to the past. There are going to have to be protocols, etiquette, and the politics of that time period that you're gonna know. Like, how do you do that without angering someone from saying it's woke, or for someone else to saying, hey, there's not enough DEI isn't the word I want to use, but for someone
yeah.
saying, you know what I mean? Like there's a weird thin line between, oh my God, it's woke, and oh my God, there's no representation that I'm used to. Like, how do you straddle
I
that
feel
line when
that.
politics are necessary?
Honestly, I think this is a really important thing, and lately, a lot of shows I've seen or I've heard being talked about,
Mhm.
they fail in this necessary thing, and it's just like at the end of the day, we're dealing with a whole bunch of cultures that are either foreign to us or vaguely familiar to us.
Right.
You have George Lucas, Tolkien, some of the greats, and their simple thing is just tell a good story. The story
Yeah.
should matter over everything else. Like even with George Orwell, was
Mhm.
like 1984. There's a whole lot of politics in that book, but you're
Right.
focused on the characters. And honestly, I think being a character story writer is what helps bridge the gap between having something like DEI and inclusion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, yeah, story is the only thing that should matter.
I appreciate you saying that because I wanted to know. I was like, I couldn't be a writer because I was like, if you say it's woke, I will punch you. If you say it's no D, I will punch you too. And I'm just gonna wind up just punching out all my all the people
Trust
that
me,
were
man.
probably by the book.
Dude, do you know how many people I got? I'm saying like they won't read this book because David's black. I was like, okay,
I
I understand,
I didn't even.
but
I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to figure. I was like, so the main character's like. I was like, I wonder if Aaron is black. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna ask it, but I like, if it's not, I'm gonna have a whole quest. Like, was your best friend black? I mean, like, I was
I
like,
don't know. I
this could be
understand.
weird.
No,
I was
I'd
like,
be
yeah.
I'd be
No, no.
asking the
I was
same
like,
thing.
yeah. I was like, I mean, like, I want to be like, how did he get here? You know, I was like, is he a Moor? I don't know. I was like,
Nah,
I have to ask, but then you're like, okay, it's a time travel. Okay, cool.
oh, no,
That
trust me,
takes away a
I
lot.
don't think I'd be able to do that at all.
Okay, okay.
You'd have,
I
the
was
book
just,
would take so much longer to do just to figure that out.
okay. I'll be like, damn. It's like if he says he came from Egypt and got there, I was like, I'm gonna have to
Egypt,
scream. I was like, bro, you know, some of the ones that are
yeah,
being there be like, you know, he's black, so he has to be from Egypt. I'm like, in
I
what
don't like
time
that.
period are we doing this, sir? Johnny Douglas spoken, man. Thank you. It does look awesome. Yeah, I had so many
Thank you,
questions.
God.
I was like, I hope this does not go left. I was like, I have so many unanswered questions in my head. I was like, I'm not trying to get canceled, but I'm like, people gonna be like, why aren't you asking questions? I'd be like, look, man, it's a black dude in Britannia with dreads. I didn't want to ask what his
Who
age
was
was
nice?
happened. Yeah, I was like, is he the Black Knight? I just someone's gonna ask me that.
Oh shoot, yo,
Oh yeah, I
I'm
had
not
to.
gonna lie. I honestly wish I lived. Now thinking about it, I wish I lived in an alternate dimension where an alternate me made that book. I want to see what happens
Bro,
just for the train wreck.
Jordan Aaron, the white author that made a book.
Jordan Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, the Black Richard.
Black
That'd be
Ranger.
awesome. That ain't Douglas the Web time humor. But you know what? I guess that kind of bleeds into this because I know that while there are creatives that will have their own their own universe, their own IP that they create, it can also stem from, hey, look, I had this one character that's a part of the big two, or even Dark Horse, anyone like that. That's my favorite, and if I got my hands on it, I do blank. So I'm asking you, let's say, hey, you're approached by your favorite, either the big two or a big indie, and they're like, yo, WBC, we want you to be in control of your favorite intellectual property, and we want you to write your own arc to that character's story. So I'm asking you, like, what character are you choosing, and what character arc would you take it?
Shoot, I just shoot. There was like a couple months ago when I had this question.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh,
It would have to be the same answer. Things could change. Things could change.
You know what?
I'm saying.
I got it. Ready?
Go ahead.
I want Batman. It's not because he's my favorite character.
Okay.
It's because for years he's been slandered and he's been slighted. We need to bring back Silver St. Cloud. I'm saying it right here. That's the best love interest he's ever had. And Onomatopoeia killed her for no reason. Bring her back.
The Kevin Smith cacophony or cacophony.
I think
that one. Yeah, with Bamthanet, right?
So much. Yeah.
Yes, that was the best.
Sure.
Yo, I read that one a few years ago when I lived in Philly. Yo, for guys that don't know, Kevin Smith got his hands on Batman.
That was him?
Yeah, that was Kevin Smith, dude. That's why I wanted to read it. I was so pissed. At the end, I stopped reading it. I'm like, why would you do this? She's the only. So basically, Batman meets his best match ever. Like, she got money. She's known him when they were young. She knows he's Batman. She's read all his journal entries in the Batcave. Everyone in the Batcave in the Bat family knows who she is. And Kevin Smith did the unthinkable. You'll have to read it if you want to. All I'm saying is, but yeah, you'd bring back her. What would be your arc?
Honestly, there's no easy way to do this because I'd have to. I'm right now in DC. You're dealing with so many retcons. You're dealing with so many plot lines and stuff. I'd make it so that she faked her death because in the back of her mind, she couldn't really handle seeing Bruce hurt every single day that he comes back to the Batcave. So this is going to be a whole mystery, and it's going to be a story of both Bruce and Silver St. Cloud learning to let go of each other. And I think that's going to be a better story than the Tom King Catwoman wedding that we got. And I came up with that off the top of my head.
Don't remind me, man. I actually bought that damn issue. I waited to the midnight opening to buy that issue, only to be pissed off at how he actually did it. I'm mad. It's in my short boxes.
You didn't burn
somewhere. Huh?
You didn't burn it? Dang.
No, sometimes you need. Sometimes I need some evidence of mistakes you made. Okay, I've got the Miles Morales comic. I've got the Captain Falcon one, and I've got the Batman Tom King one. Okay,
wait,
to let y'all know.
Which Miles Morales comic are we talking about? Because I think okay, see, I'll give the story a pass for that. I don't like Miles as a character, but I'll admit the first one was a little bit good. It was a little good.
I'm not gonna lie. It's like, hey, look, guys, I'm just letting you know I'm not immune to hype. Okay, I too have succumbed to something I thought was gonna be awesome just because it's that one, it's Captain Falcon, and it's Tom King, the Bat Wedding. Like those three are the ones that let me know, hey, I can get got to. I'm not perfect, but Johnny Douglas, sir, I will fight you if you do this. Okay, do not do this.
Yeah, you always troll it.
Do not. That's not even funny because I'd be included in that group. Okay. Bro.
Shoot.
Oh my god. Johnny Douglas said he did that. We will fight. I'd also ship Miles and Hart. What are you doing? Stop it. Get some help. Okay, you know what, sir? Don't get. Johnny Douglas has been given too much power, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this back. I'm actually gonna show you guys a few of the other things that he's got going on because he's not just the author of Pendragon. He is the author of Wulfsbane, like the name says. For those that are actually interested in this, I've got I'll put the link in here as well. Why don't you tell us about the Wulfsbane comics? I think there are 2 of these out so far.
Oh, yeah. So, Wulfsbane is both a psychological and detective horror series. And it pretty much goes over doing in order to do the right thing, sometimes you have to unleash that monster inside of you. And the story kicks off with I'm sorry, let me just do a disclaimer. The first 2 books, I admit I could have done so much better. The 3rd book we're working on right now, that's where the actual story starts. You can read these ones. In fact, later on this week, I'm going to release the 2nd book for free. But anyway, we follow the story of Lawrence Mulligan. He's a teenager. He's going through some issues. His dad's kind of not in his life right now. His mom's presumed dead. And his life at school sucks. So all that happens, and he meets the girl of his dream that he's been eyeing for a while. And he finally gets to go over his house to chill and do some studying. But lo and behold, some stuff happens, and he discovers that he's a werewolf in the worst way possible. So because of that, he's all guilt tripping over that stuff. He's trying to figure out who he is now since his whole identity got flipped on his head. And after a few issues or so, he realized that even though he's technically a monster, that doesn't mean he has to become a monster. So all that deals with like the supernatural, him protecting his town from the forces that go bump in the night. And honestly, if you just like stuff like what do I compare it to? Let's say it's like the Goonies meets the Universal Monsters and that one movie with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, Lethal Weapon. Yeah, Lethal Weapon. It's those three combined.
Oh, good, man.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Lethal Weapon.
Bro, I have a question. Have you reached out to? Do you know who Abomination AJ is?
No, I don't think I do.
Dude, you need to reach out to him. I will put his link in here because he is heavy about the werewolves too.
Oh, bet.
Like he loves it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can find him here. I have got to put his. I'll put his. Do you want me to send you his link or put it in the chat? It's up to you.
Oh, either is fine with me.
Let me put it on here. Yeah, I will just click here. He really loves that werewolf life. He's also working on his own werewolf comic as well. So I think I'm going a lot in comics. Yeah, you reach out to him, just say, hey, E.G.O told me that you're also big into werewolves. I'll let it lie where it is, but it's like the enthusiasm you have for werewolves.
Oh, I've seen him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Reach out to him, man. Like if y'all just want to have like a werewolf live stream or just a chat on werewolves, because I will say this. I've seen werewolves go from the ones portrayed in Van Helsing to the ones portrayed in Twilight. So I'm just saying, like, they don't put enough respect on it. So I'm like, if you find someone that's about that werewolf life and y'all want to have a chat about it and air out your grievances on the entertainment industry, y'all can go right ahead. But I'm like, y'all sound very similar. Y'all should definitely talk about it.
Oh yeah,
but guys, again, we've got the Pendragon Book 1 that's close to being funded. Currently sitting at about, refresh it on here, $22.89. And you know what, dude, I'm actually gonna back this as well. This looks
thank you.
To fire as well. And I'll put that on here as well when we get off. But yeah, before we conclude everything out today, I don't want to take too much of your time. Will you be working on anything in particular, doing anything on the channel, or just focusing mainly on the writing? Go ahead and tell us, chill out what you got coming up with the book as well.
Okay. So right now, I'm mainly going to be focusing on Pendragon until the campaign concludes. Then we're going to be going into Wulfsbane. But after Wulfsbane, I do have a few stories lined up. One's going to be superhero focused. One's going to be a adult comedy. So stay tuned for that.
Nice.
So I just want to get all my I just want to try out as many genres as I can and see which one I'm the best at, you know.
Oh, well, okay. So you're not even sticking with one. You're just trying to figure out what's what you're good at and what's not what.
Oh yeah. I think like for early creators, it's best to like, you know, like I wouldn't say throw stuff at the wall because that implies that you're just seeing what sticks. Like have a plan in mind and whatnot, and see if you put your best foot forward. See what you can do.
I like that, man. I like you being trying to at least be multifaceted on this. That's actually very smart and forward thinking. I like that, man. I like that a lot. Wish you much success and looking forward to reading some Pendragon, reading this harrowing tale about the present in the past and how that's going to work out, especially with Excalibur and the fact you get to put your history knowledge on Celtic mythology to the test. I really like it, man. Thank you so much for joining in, man. We wish you all luck and success. You know, reach out when the next one is up as well. We'll do another live stream, talk about that one as well. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And for my man WC. E.G.O, guys, we're out.